We don't live in a world. We live within a band of frequencies. And the timeline shift that is happening right now, it could be overwhelming. And things are getting strange, and things are about to get very strange. And in today's lesson, I'm going to teach you all why this is happening. Critical mass of the collective realizes what I'm going to discuss today. And that's why we're seeing things shift. That's why we're witnessing massive changes. And in the past couple of weeks, we know that we shifted frequencies. And after that, you start to see very strange things, including the ringing in the ears. And I know that there's people that have been on the channel for years, and maybe you're brand new today. Do you experience ringing in the ears? And if you do experience ringing in the ears, has it changed drastically in recent times? So we're actually perceiving a frequency, we're picking up an energy, and you're gonna have to know thyself. I know there's tons of people that are new to this true ascension journey. This is true ascension, kid. And they might not understand it, and they might, say this sounds a little strange. But if you are on the live stream right now, I'm getting targets in the chat. I'm getting you could hit the target in the chat. You could hit the starburst in the chat. Something that ring the bell in the chat. Are you witnessing a change in the sound of the ringing in the ears? On my journey, my ears have been ringing for years. And I've shared this, I shared this story with all of you a long time ago, and I have the full video on the channel page. You could check that out. But my ears, from that point that it started, you get accustomed to it, okay? So maybe your pineal gland has been decalcified. You're picking up a frequency, which is the reality that we're in. And all of a sudden, the ringing in the ears, the sound, the tone, the feeling. I can feel it coming back again. You could feel, you could feel it. And we're feeling this. There's a lot of emotions that are coming up. I'm just being real. It's quite emotional before I even got on this live stream. And if you're sitting and you're getting this message right now, the chat is really blowing up. Please hit the like button so others will hear this message, because people are going to have these unexplained symptoms right now, these feelings. We shifted timelines, and something happened, and we're perceiving it. We're perceiving the change. We have no idea how quick things are about to unravel. You might be sitting there, you're seeing your Uncle Mike on the screen, and you say, you know what? Things just take forever. I can't wait another 50 years. I can't wait another 50 years to see the new earth. I can't wait another 50 years. But you'll be astonished by how quick things are happening, and I'm going to teach you why this is happening right now. If you're new to the channel, I'm Michael. I discuss the ascension journey, and I make it relevant for everyday life people. You don't have to be a spiritual yogi to go on this journey right now, because people have changed their frequency, and that's really what this is all about. In the past, we only thought about the physical. Now we have to understand the energetic, the mental, the spiritual, and that's what we do here. All three phases of life. Look at that, and you could hit 333. Look at that, divine timing, divine numbers. Numbers are the universal language. And those are the signs and synchronicities. And things are getting strange. And you could be waking up with lots of emotions for no reason. Maybe there's a reason. But you know, I always shared to people, you're going to have to know thyself. You're going to have to know your point of homeostasis. Isn't that great what we do here on this channel, right? Whether you have a spiritual background or a science background, I can help guide you on your evolutionary journey, kid. You're going to have to know thyself. You're going to have to know your point of homeostasis. You have to know what's your regulation, your area that you say, okay, I feel usually this amount of emotion. This is way, this is a little bit high. This is a little bit low. Know your energy level. Know thyself. Know the ins and outs of your body. Know how it feels. A lot of people are numb to this. Buckshot 24, I appreciate that. Bad days are for the ego. Good days are for the soul. I like that. That's a good one. I appreciate you. Thank you. Our soul is what's operating this body. So that's the energy. So what are the things that we're seeing? So as we go through this lesson, I'm going to tell you what the critical mass of the collective has realized. And once we get to that, we understand why the input values are changing, and hence the timeline, the frequency, the broadcast signal that we're receiving is changing. So you might have ringing in the ears. You might have a load of emotions. What is emotion? It's energy in motion. And think about what you took on. You actually took on a lot for the entire collective in the past few years. You might have a lot of traumas. You went through traumas. You went through trials and tribulations. You have a lot of emotions stored inside the body, and it has to leave, and it's coming up. And when the frequencies, the energies that go through you, it kind of knocks it loose, and then it's leaving you. And as it's leaving you, you actually feel it. You go through it. It passes. We move on. We carry on. We go home. Okay. So we do go through these periods, and like if you're new to this, I could always say it's going to pass. It's going to pass. The volume of people changed. So whether, like I could see here, you could have data if you're doing things digitally, or maybe you go to a certain area and you notice the volume of people have changed. Did it get a little bit quiet for a few days? That's usually a sign, a synchronicity that we're about to level up. Did it get very quiet? Did you notice, you know what, there's a lot less people. There's less people, okay? Lisa, Anthony, Starburst, people are writing this, okay? Natalie, okay? Do you agree with that? Did you say, oh, it got really quiet? And that's what happens when we're about to level up. So people, the volume of people changed. You see, you're noticing less people at the place that you go to or the work that you do. There's just less people. The behaviors of people are being very strange as well. You might see loved ones or people becoming more emotional, more loving, more caring. And then you're also seeing people that are acting irrational, things that don't make sense. Yeah, Uncle Mike, I've been noticing that people are lashing out. They're not making any sense. They might not be rational. They're not quote unquote grounded. Why is this so? Well, this planet, this realm, wherever we are, where are we? Wherever we live, okay? Is it flat? Is it round, right? No, focus on the frequency. Where we live, the frequency is raising right now. And we must raise our frequency. It's called the Schumann resonance, okay? It's the frequency of where we live, the Schumann resonance, okay? We got tons of videos on the channel page if you're new. T-Knock, I appreciate you. When the ears ring, try meditation. Source awaits. Oh yeah, absolutely. And sometimes I'll get like a confirmation if I'm thinking about something or something's happening, and then I'll get a pop and a ring in one of the two ears. It's like a very strong signal. I just look at it as pay attention to this, Michael. Pay attention. You ever get that? You ever get that? Anyone in the chat? Your ear rings, boom, like it's one side or the other side, and it's really loud and it's powerful, and so I just say I got to pay attention to what's going on right now. What am I listening to right now? Got to focus and pay attention. Brain waves, the rhythms of the body must keep up with the Schumann resonance. So let's go back, okay? A lot of people in the past few years, okay? I've been sharing about my detoxing journey, my fasting, intermittent fasting, getting the health up so that I could be in alignment. I could pick up the natural frequencies. What's a easy everyday life example of this? Called grounding. You ever go barefoot on the ground? You got to pick up the natural frequencies. And pick up the natural frequencies. So people, that's why we're seeing such a large gap sometimes. The frequency, the Schumann resonance is really rising up right now. And some people, and sometimes it's not their fault, but this is where we live right now. They are not connected to this frequency that's changing, so it's out of resonance. So some people, they might be totally out of balance, out of alignment at this time. They're acting out, and you might see people that are becoming more meditative, more loving, and you also might see some people that acting a little shaky, looking a little strange. Okay, because we are living in this world, in this band of frequencies, and our frequency must be a match. Otherwise, things fall off. You might even have this on your journey. Your health might increase and something might fall off the body or leave the body because it's no longer a you move past it and now you can move on. So it leaves. So emotions are high. And the other thing I would say, I also spend a lot of time out in nature. So, and again, if you are paying attention, it's the currency of the universe, baby. You got to pay it. You got to pay attention. My grandfather, when I was younger, he said, "Be alert, Mikey. Be alert. You got to be alert right now." And I notice all the little nuances of the world. And so when I'm out in nature, the point I'm trying to bring out, you can notice like the colors have changed. And I'm really talking about the organic. Get out of the house. Get out of the basement. Get out of the basement. Get out of the house. And go out in nature. And go every day, as frequently as you possibly can. And then you got to be alert. You have to have a conscious and aware experience. And then you could say right now, and as we're on the live stream, or if you're on the replay, did the colors change again? Did they get a little bit brighter? And I've noticed this on my journey since 2012. The colors have changed, you know. I noticed that with green, actually, the first thing. I remember, because, I grew up in Brooklyn, and I remember seeing, I said, wow, the greens look extra green. Like, and like this is before I started, like, learning all these things, right? I'm just an everyday life kind of guy, like a lot of people that are tuned on to this. But I'm helping guide you through this because I went through this. We're all going to go through this together, okay? If this resonates with you, if you're here right now, please hit that subscribe button. It really allows this movement to continue. So grateful if you hit that subscribe button. It does. I know some people get irritated when I say it, but it does make a difference, and I'm very grateful for that. It's the greatest support of all. And so you could look at the colors that are changing. Remember, frequencies, when you think about colors, when you think about sounds, lights and sounds, the frequency is changing, and we're picking up on these things. So you got sounds, you got ringing in the ears. You're looking at the colors, the energetic colors. You say the colors are so much, they're more vibrant than ever before. These colors are so bright. You have to notice these things. You have to notice it. Because again, there are people that aren't paying attention. And a lot of what I do on this channel, it's motivation, it's empowerment. And if you get triggered, and again, it's okay. I'm not going to stop what I do, okay? And I know a lot of people really respect it. I'm not here to just, say everything's a unicorn and rainbow. These are the things. If I did it, right? If I did it, if I'm sharing something, if I'm teaching something, it means I did it. That means I went through it. That means I took responsibility and I did. A lot of this journey right now, it's about taking responsibility. And sometimes we have to take a little bit more responsibility. That might resonate to a lot of people on this live stream. We are picking up extra for the collective. Not only are you doing you, and I did a full video on it, you're doing it for your family lineage. And we might even be holding down our whatever we signed up for the collective itself. And the more you're in alignment with things, okay, I know the energies right now, so overwhelming. So what do you do? What do you do? You have to really be in alignment with your vocation, with your life's mission. And I can see this right now. All right. And I feel this a lot when the emotions are high, when the anxiety is high. It's something that I've dealt with my whole life. Okay. A lot of you are empaths like me. You dealt with a lot of anxiety. When you're in alignment, it's like I'm focused on this right now. All of the densities of the it's a whirlwind of energies right now. So you could feel a little anxious. I appreciate that. Yeah, let's get the yellow hearts going. So you might deal with anxiety. You might deal with picking up not only your energy, but it's in the ether. We're picking up on it. Something changed. Something. Right? Something. So I'm not saying it's like scary like this, but maybe you watched Infinity War. I always talk about the superheroes. And if you watch that, the moment that Thanos hit the snap, there was something, and people picked up on it, regardless of where they were going. They knew something shifted. And maybe that resonates with you. And it's just a everyday life thing that I could try to explain, because a lot of these things we don't even have words to explain right now. Okay, it's like if you saw that part, and okay, the chat's blowing up again. Rebecca's saying yes. A lot of people, if you've seen that, okay, it's like we're picking up. Our spider senses are picking up on something, and there's something out there that drastically shifted. And then we're seeing, changes in maybe the volume of people. We're seeing the changes in the colors. The ringing in the ears like never before is changing. If you just stumbled in, are your ears ringing? Are your ears ringing and they never rang before? Do your ears always ring and the tone change? Let us know. Can't unsee these things, Scott. Absolutely. You can't unsee them. So things are changing very rapidly, very fast. And you were used to things taking a long time. And we're already seeing it in the past week, how rapidly. We have no idea how fast these things can turn for the good, Angie Tillman, thank you so much for that, Angie. I'm very grateful. Rune Sage, thank you so much for that. Brother, I'm very interested in your inclined chest secret. If chest is, sign me up and I will rock as my feminine chest. Super spiritual superhero. Rune, maybe we need to go in the gym and we'll get some more videos. I have some on the channel page. If you're into your physical wellness, why don't you let us know in the comments? Yeah, you gotta train, and you gotta train very strongly. All right. And you can't be weak at this time. And you're going to see this. So that's actually very relevant to what I shared earlier. We see an inversion. And I did a video on this called the spiritual narcissist. Do you see him out there? Do you see the spiritual narcissist out there? When you become empowered, when you get strong, okay? In the community tab, I put up a reshare last night. There's so many fake people in this. You think it's all love and light. There's people out there that are designed to stop you from embracing this power that's here right now. Hit the like button if you're becoming empowered like never before. Yeah. And I appreciate everyone being here. So we did reach critical mass, and that's why we're witnessing these very strange things. The timeline jump. The band of frequencies are changing. Who's responsible for this? Does anyone know? Pull out my old teaching skills, right? Does anyone know who is responsible for this changing timeline right now. Okay? When we're focused on this, and again, the truth cannot be told, it can only be realized. And what we're realizing, we were given little tasks over the past few years. And once you realize, you say, holy shit, this works. This actually works. Now you become, now you know your creator power. Now you know what you can do. And we've done missions here and within this community, other beautiful communities. We're all the same. It's our everyday lives. Hit the like button, all that stuff. But a lot of us all realize this, especially this year. We had certain tasks. God said, here's a task to realize your power. You, the person, and your community. The community is so important. The community is so important. Because there was a massive shakeup. And as you form, there's a sorting that's happening. So that's what this community, all community in general matters. That's your royal family. These are your brothers and sisters. The old way, the ways of the past, that's not the way anymore. It's according to your vibrational frequency. And things will sort, and the people you thought were forever people, you saw the truth, right? What was 2020? 2020 was clear vision year. Did you start seeing the truth? And I told you, if you're new to the channel, you go to the channel page. God is revealing the truth of you this year. Okay. So who is responsible for this timeline jump, this change of frequencies? We realize that we determine events. Write it down. And some of you are aware of the quantum. Some of you are aware of being the observer or having an observer. We determine the events. And that's why you have to go, that there's a lot of stuff. And then you say, now I understand why. Now I understand why I went into the wilderness. Now I understand why I went through isolation. Because you can't have your attention thrown off. So if you're seeing gloom and doom and negativity, you could get tricked. A portion of the population could get tricked into creating gloom and doom and negativity. But when we realize that we determine the events, holy shift, I got to get up in the morning every day. I got to make a better and brighter world. Lisa Patterson writes, boom, let's get the booms coming. Yeah, the booms are dropping right now. We determine the events. Look, the chat is blowing up. We determine the events. I wake up in the rising. I determine the events. You determine the events. We determine the events. And you have to do this with the inexhaustible belief. So that's another tricky thing too. Sometimes we, because we get a little nervy, we get a little nervous. But that now you're starting to understand the spiritual warfare, if you will. You stay away from negativity, and guess what? Everyone can benefit. No one left behind, but it gets to the point where it's free will. Some people love the negativity. Some people will, try to tear you down instead of going up with you, right? A mentor of mine taught me years ago, Michael, some people will rather pull you into the pit with them than want to rise up out of the pit with you. You got to keep going, kid. Everyone write it in the chat. Keep going. We'll keep going. So now that we're realizing that we determine the events, the input values of the reality of the timeline have changed. Your input values, input and output. So there has to be a signal that is broadcast into the quantum field. The input value has changed. Once we realize this, now you're gonna hold the frequency for a sustained period of time. I shared this a long time ago. We are holding the frequency for a sustained period of time. Not I did it for one day. You have to You want to hold this frequency all the way till the end of the year. You want to keep, and then all of a sudden, it's momentum is a real thing, which I've shared. Momentum is a real thing. The momentum continues, and now all of a sudden, the timeline has shifted. The timeline has changed. You are on the higher timeline. You're not down there. Don't go down there. It's dark. Bugs Bunny taught us that. Remember? Remember Bugs Bunny? Don't go down there. It's dark. No, you don't want to go down. You want to rise up. We're all rising higher than ever before. We're going so high right now. Things are about to get real strange. Because now we've taken back our power. Now we realize, wow, in 6 months, we could create so many things where we could say, wow, I thought this was going to take 50 years to create. We could do it in 6 months. And you're going to see things, and you're going to see beautiful technologies, maybe that, you know, were hidden from humanity. We're going to see things come to the forefront because we ask Almighty God to release all these things for the people and make our everyday lives a lot easier. When your everyday life experience is easier, now you have the ability, and now we have more creators. We need more creators. We don't want destroyers. We don't want sabotage. Did a full video on it. Please hit the like button if you just stumbled in. Hit that subscribe. No, does that make sense to you? Or you say, yeah, there's people out there that are sabotaging on purpose. They're sabotaging my journey, or you could see the micro and the macrocosm. Oh, I saw people that were sabotaging the collectives rising. We have to move forward. We have to release. We have to have free flowing. Everything has to be free flowing right now. We got to flow, not force. We're flowing. I appreciate that, Lynn. Yeah, let's get him going. Let's get him going. I appreciate you. Yeah, no, it's free flowing. Years ago, when I experienced a lot of these things, you know, and I know the hardest job of all is reaching people that are new to this. And my ears started ringing years ago. I said, what is all these things? And then you start to have experiences, and it could be your first time. It could be your first time, baby. It's your first time having the experience. And especially if your ears are ringing for the first time, you're like, where? and you didn't go out to the club. You weren't listening to loud music all night. It's not tinnitus. You weren't listening to the loud music all night. That's where you have to stay focused on. You say, you know what? And that's why you have to really pay attention to life. A lot of people are asleep at the wheel. What does that mean? That means you're running, which is the way, we're running off of the subconscious programs. And we're just repeating the subconscious programs. But if we're having a more conscious experience, when we're actually creators, we leave victimhood from victim to victorious. From victim to victorious. Everyone write that in the chat. We are victorious. Angie Tillman, I appreciate that. I am a supernova. Oh, you are. Yeah. The supernovas are exploding right now. We're exploding the energy out into the quantum. And then the echo comes back. Don't delay, start today. If you're getting this, and again, you have to see something. If anything that I said today resonated with you, that is just, it's clicking in there. And you're like, wow, once you have to realize this is real. This is not nonsense. And then that's where the momentum starts. And there is a density of this physical reality. So that energetic signature is on a delay. It doesn't happen immediately. I know some people could manifest in 30 minutes. 30 minutes or less. 30-minute manifestations. Imagine 30, but things are happening faster. Don't delay, start today. Make today the day. Make today the day you make the timeline jump. But we're seeing these things. We're seeing the changes in colors. It might be strange to you. All of a sudden, things get really quiet. Where did everyone go? Where did everyone go? because something happened in the background. The frequency shifted. Everything goes real quiet, and then it builds back up again. The life is not a straight line. I complain about this as well. I'm just an everyday life kind of guy. I complain just like all of you. And I think it's got to keep going up straight. Like it goes up and down, right? Winnie the Pooh teaches us that. Up, down, touch the ground. In the mood for food, right? So it gets real quiet, and then it blasts up. And then you'll be skyrocketing for a little bit. Then it might get real quiet again. And then you blast up. That's every time that God is pulling back on the bow and arrow to launch you, to launch the reality. As humanity as a whole has to be launched right now. So I'm very grateful for each and every one of you. Comment down below, are you witnessing any of these strange experiences of the timeline jump? We're jumping, baby. Jump for joy. Jump for joy. Embrace that, the joy. Joy. Think of joy. Wow, I'm so joyful. And hold that frequency. Hold that energy. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of you. Please hit the like button if you haven't done so already. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new. We have daily videos, 9 a.m. Eastern time, to help you become the greatest version of yourself. Let's get back into balance. Let's get back into alignment. Let's stay focused on becoming the greatest version of ourselves. Let's stay focused in 3 phases of life, not only one. Physically, mentally, and spiritually. We do it all in this community. And we have to stay focused on the most important thing, knowing thyself. Because if you don't know, that's the point of life. That's the point of life. The point of life is to know who you truthfully are. Stop living somebody else's life. Get out of there. Stop living someone else's life. Stop living a life that a society wants you to live. Stop living a life that a system wants you to live. Start living your everyday life. And once we realize this, we have reached critical mass. We hit critical mass, and then that's where the massive shift occurs. So I love each and every one of you. We have Facebook, TikTok, Patreon, brand new posts on all of the channels. Go to this channel page, and you can go to the first playlist and check out all of the very powerful videos of this week. We're rising up like never before. CC writes, be unique. Absolutely. You got to be unique. You're a one of one. One of one. The only one. You're very valuable. One of one. So I love you all. We're here. Relax. We're already here. Relax. We're already here. But there's a lot of emotions out there right now. I was feeling them earlier. So I really appreciate all the beautiful comments. Please share this video, and each and every one of you are really helping this movement to continue. So the subscribing is really a beautiful thing. The liking, the sharing, and leave comments. And read other people's comments, because not only am I sharing beautiful comments, you know, and you might read someone else and they're having the same experience, and you say to yourself, yeah, that does make sense, right? Now I understand what's going on, right? So that's how we're getting all this this data, all of these divine synchronicities. It's happening right now. We're not waiting 50 years. We're not waiting 50. It's right now. Right now. Let's go. All right. I love you all. Keep going, kid.